Yes, hello again and welcome back to Classic Dirtbike TV as we take a look at part 2 of the racing highlights from the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club's Round 1 event. This of course was held at North Carnduff Farm in Strathaven on Sunday the 6th of June 2021. Now this is the second part of the race programme. Part 2 of course, and these are the age related races, so it's nothing to do with the bike you ride, it's to do with the age of the actual rider. So we're going to start with the over 50s and the under and over 40s classes. They're all lined up and almost ready to go. Now our race starter is Stuart Riddle. So as the riders leave the line, a good start by Craig Smith there on the little RM125 Suzuki. And as you can see, the track beginning to dry out here at North Carnduff Farm and the dust beginning to fly. But it looks like Craig Smith's made a good start there in pole position. It looks like Mikey McClarty is in second position, number 416 on the CR125 Honda. Now, as I mentioned, this second part of the race programme is the age-related races, so it doesn't matter what type of machine you ride. These races are based on the rider's age. As we take a look at number 98, that's Liston Bell on his 500 Jawa 4-stroke machine. And because this is the age-related races, you'll see a wide variety of machines in these races, between these little 125 screamers and the big single-cylinder 4-stroke bikes. So you'll certainly see a variety of race bikes in each of these races. But it's number 32, Craig Smith, your race leader on the little RM125 Suzuki, but it looks like it's number 9, Lewis Bell on the 500 CCM Alan Clues machine, who's moved up into second position. So it's quite a contrast to see these little 125 screamers up against these more powerful big single cylinder 4-stroke bikes. And as you'd expect, the big 500 machine of Lewis Bell now takes the lead, and you can expect Lewis to start opening a gap on these smaller machines behind. But as he comes round to complete another lap, it's Lewis Bell, number 9. I think that's an old 1974 CCM machine, a reproduction bike of course, not a fully blown original CCM bikes, because these CCMs are quite rare these days, original bikes, and although there are many reproduction versions of these bikes now racing. But it's number 9, Lewis Bell, your race leader. Second is still Craig Smith, third is Mike McClarty, fourth there is Willie Penrice, number treble 9 on his little CR125 Honda. It looks like Liston Bell is just behind him. But although this 500 single cylinder bike of Lewis Bell's is showing the rest of the pack a clean pair of heels, the little 125s are still giving a good account of themselves in this race. But looks like Lewis is well on his way to yet another win. And of course, because this is a combined age related race with the over 50s and the under and over 40s, they will be scored separately as they cross the finish line. But here's your second place rider, number 32, Craig Smith, doing well on the little RM125 Suzuki. It's Mikey McClarty is still in second place, with Willie Penrice in third. But here's your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag for his first win in the age related races of the day. It's number 9, Lewis Bell on the big 500 CCM. So it's a win for Lewis Bell as he crosses the line. It should be Craig Smith who comes through in second position. Mike McClarty is going to finish in third, with Willie Penrice in fourth. Okay, that brings us to the more mature riders in the over 60s and over 65s class. So these are the veterans of the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club, but nonetheless these are still quick riders as they leave the line. It looks like a good start by Derek Macaulay on that Spanish 250 Bultaco Pursang. Jim Allison is in second position on the 1974 CCM. Peter Dobinson looks like he's in third position on the Rickman Triumph Twin. Although as they come towards us on lap 1, it's number 29 Derek Macaulay from Arbroath, the race leader. Number 13 is Jim Allison. Peter Dobinson is in third. Number 122 there is Fergus Moody on the big BSA. This has been a good afternoon for Derek Macaulay, number 29 on the Bultaco 250 Pursang. Derek did very well in the pre-1975 races earlier on in the day, and as you can see he's still absolutely flying on this little Spanish two-stroke machine. And Derek did very well in the pre-1975 races when he was up against the big single-cylinder 500 four-stroke of Stuart Roden, but you can see that Derek's now coming under pressure from another big single-cylinder machine. That number 24 bike is Sam Sibbald on the TT 500 Yamaha in second place. Jim Allison is third. Fergus Moody is fourth. Peter Dobinson is in fifth, and just going through there on the blue bike is Archie Baird on that Nori Patty 3L CZ machine. But the weather is still absolutely beautiful here at North Carnduff Farm, maybe even a bit too dry as we take a look at Archie Baird on that CZ machine with Jim Allison number 13 close behind, but it's still this man here, number 29 Derek Macaulay, who's having a fantastic afternoon, but Sam Sibbald looks like he's lining him up to try and take that pole position. Sam of course also did well in the pre-1977 class earlier on in the day, but it looks like Sam Sibbald is your I was going to say Sam Sibbald is your new race leader, but it's not. Derek Macaulay is now taking that place back, but this is a fantastic scrap between this little 250 Spanish Bultaco and that big 500cc single cylinder Yamaha bike of Sam Sibbald. So as they cross the finish line to start another lap, it's still Derek Macaulay who leads number 24 Sam Sibbald. And of course Derek's little 250 Bultaco may not have the outright grunt of the big Yamaha, but these 250 Spanish Bultacos are quite light and easy to throw around, so Derek seems to be making the most of that, but he could be out horsepowered if this big TT500 Yamaha of Sam Sibbald's gets its legs stretched. But this is a good ride by Derek Macaulay on the Bultaco as he crosses the line to start his last and final lap of this race. And it looks like Derek's got quite a decent gap between himself and Sam Sibbald, so Derek's certainly looking good on this last lap of this race in the over 60s and over 65 class. But looks like Sam Sibbald is trying his damnedest to try and get onto terms with this little 250 Bultaco machine. So this could be quite a good scrap as these two guys head towards the checkered flag, but it's going to be a win for number 29 Derek Macaulay with Sam Sibbald on the Yamaha in second position. Okay, that brings us to the age-related races for the pre-1984 class. Now once again all these riders will be just in the one race, but they will be classed in their individual age groups as they cross the finish line. But it looks like a good start by number 2 Paul Chiappa with David Loudon in second position on that YZ 490 Yamaha. So as they come towards us, it's Paul Chiappa first on the Maiko, second David Loudon, third position looks like it's John Stokes. Mark Kenny is in fourth place with Graham Smith in 5th. But it's the veteran racer, Paul Chiappa, who is your race leader, and Paul's already won 3 races in the pre-1984 class, so he's looking good for another race win. At number 88 there is Billy Pentland on that twin-shock YZ Yamaha 490 conversion. That was a monoshock bike that Billy converted into a twin-shock racing machine. As you can see, it's still quite quick. So we're looking to our race leader as he comes round to complete lap 2. It's still number 2, Paul Chiappa. 2nd is David Loudon, number 75 on the YZ 490 Yamaha. 3rd looks like it's still John Stokes. Mark Kenny is in 4th position. But a very highly experienced rider, Paul Chiappa, of course, from his days when he used to race at BSA Bantams way back in his schoolboy days. As we take a look at number 30 there, that's Ronnie Craig on his 490 Micro Twin Shocker. But there doesn't seem to be any stopping this guy this weekend, because Paul Chiappa has been absolutely awesome on this track, on this big German made 490 Micro 2-stroke. David Loudon has also raced very well, but unfortunately just can't seem to get up into terms with Paul Chiappa on that big Micro. Now David, of course, is a local man to this track and had a big hand in preparing and laying out this racetrack, so it's thanks to David and the rest of his helpers for laying out the track. But as you can see, David is certainly quick on this YZ 490, and David also rides a YZ 465, but he tells me that he much prefers the bigger 490. And as you can see, it's still number 2, Paul Chiappa, your race leader. David Loudon is 2nd, and David looking quite that little bit closer to Paul in this lap, so maybe we will see David make a challenge for that pole position. And David Loudon, of course, was the club champion a way back, I think it was 2018. John Stokes is in 3rd place with Mark Kenny still in 4th. Number 217 there is Peter Maxwell. Number 47 is Steve Moore, and number 43 is Andy Mallock on that lovely 250 Montesa Capra. So as they head towards the checkered flag, it looks like it's going to be yet another win for this unstoppable rider, Paul Chiappa, number 2 on the Michael. But David Loudon looks like he's having a quick dash to the finish line, but oh dearie me, that must have been very close. But it's still a win for Paul Chiappa with David Loudon in 2nd. Okay, we're back to the 2nd race for the over 50s and the under and over 40s class. Just waiting on our race starter, Stuart Riddle, letting the bikes go. And as they leave the line, it looks like another good start by Mike McClarty on that CR125 Honda. So as they all head towards the bottom section of the track, I think it's number 9, Lewis Bell once again, who's taken the early lead on that Alan Clues CCM bike. So as they come towards us, it's number 9, Lewis Bell. Number 416 is Mike McClarty. Looks like Liston Bell is in 3rd position there, number 98. And once again, you've got another varied collection of machines in this race, from HIS Stormers to these big CCMs to the little CR125 Hondas. So quite a nice collection of race bikes and sounds for this race. Number 416 is Mike McClarty in 2nd. Liston Bell is in 3rd. As we take a look at number 32, that's Craig Smith just going through. Andy Mallock is back out again. This time he's riding his 360 CZ machine. But this is another quite dominant ride by the youngster Lewis Bell on this reproduction CCM bike, but this just gives you an idea of just how quick these Alan Clues BSA derived bikes were back in the day. So we're looking at second place man here, number 416, that's Mike McClarty, with Liston Bell, number 98, in third place on the big 500 Jawa single. So there's a certain contrast for you there between the little Japanese 125 Honda and the Czechoslovakian 500 single Jawa machine. But the racetrack and the conditions here at Carnduff Farm could not be better for this round one event. And of course our next race meeting for the Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club will be at Thornhill near Dumfries on the 4th of July. So we're looking forward to seeing more of the racing action from that round 2 event. But it's still at number 9, Lewis Bell, your race leader. Second should still be Mike McClarty, number 416. Liston Bell, number 98 there. Looks like he's moved up now into second position. So it's the Bell brothers, first and second. Number 43 is Andy Mallock on the CZ. Number 4 is Robert Kennedy. Number 22 is Darryl Wiley on that 350 Honda 4-stroker. But this is your third and fourth placed riders. Looks like Willie Penrice is in third position now, with Mike McClarty in fourth. So it's still the Bell brothers in first and second position, with Lewis in first place and Liston in second. It looks like Willie Penrice now, number treble 9, is having a little bit of a bar bashing contest with each other there. So it looks like another very well deserved win here for number 9, Lewis Bell. Looks like second position is going to go to Liston, number 98, but here's the battle for third and fourth. It looks like Willie Penrice is going to cross the line in third, with Mike McClarty going to finish in fourth. Okay, we're back to the veterans class again of the over 60s and over 65s. And as they leave the line, it looks like another good start by Derek McCauley on that little 250 bull tackle. It doesn't look like Derek could put a foot wrong here at this round one event this weekend, but it looks like Sam Sibbald is trying to go round the outside on the big TT500 at Yamaha. So as they come towards us, I think it's Sam Sibbald with the advantage. At number 13 there is Jim Allison on the 1974 CCM bike. But as they already complete lap 1, it's number 24, it's Sam Sibbald on the 4-stroke TT500 Yamaha bike. Sam once again has been riding superbly here at North Carnduff Farm, and this track seems to suit that big 4-stroke and Sam's riding style. Second is Derek McCauley, number 29. Third looks like it's Archie Baird there. Number 122 is Fergus Moody, and number 20 in the red and yellow is Stuart Roden. So we're looking at the battle between third, fourth and fifth. On the blue bike there is Archie Baird on the Norrie Patty 3L CZ machine, and just behind Archie is number 20, that's Stuart Roden on the CCM, and number 122 is Fergus Moody on that quite quick BSA machine. But it's still Sam Sibbald, number 24, your race leader. It looks like Sam's got quite a comfortable gap between himself and Derek McCauley in second position. As we take a look at number 122 again, Fergus Moody. Fergus did very well in the early races in the programme, and looks like he's still quite quick out there in these age-related races. Number 20 is Stuart Roden on the CCM bike. But this has been another superb performance by number 24 Sam Sibbald as he takes the checkered flag. Looks like he's just dropped his goggles there on the track, so we're just looking at our second place rider coming through, Derek McCauley, and it looks like Archie Baird is going to finish in third. Okay, this is the next race for the pre-1984 class. Remember, all these riders will be scored individually in their respected age groups once they cross the line, but as they leave the line, it's another good start by that number 2 bike of Paul Chiappa. Mark Kenny's made another good start in what looks like about 4th place, but it looks like David Loudon has moved up already into 2nd position. So as they come towards us, it's still number 2 Paul Chiappa, 2nd is David Loudon, number 75, 3rd looks like it's Graham Smith on the RM400 Suzuki, number 121 is Mark Kenny on that big CNJ 600 4-stroker. So it's Paul Chiappa who leads at number 75, David Loudon, so we might see some good racing between these two during this race, because David Loudon just couldn't seem to get close enough to Paul in the last few races, but he certainly looks like he's got the bit between his teeth to try and have a go in this particular race. Number 88, Billy Pentland, just going through. Number 18 is Jim Colligan. But certainly the dust beginning to fly here at North Carnduff Farm. So here's a battle for 1st and 2nd positions between Paul Chiappa and number 75 David Loudon. And I was talking to Paul Chiappa after the racing, and he told me that when Mark Kenny was challenging him in 2nd position, it was quite easy to hear the big 4-stroke coming up behind him, he says, but this YZ490 of David Loudon's bike, he says, is it's like a stealth machine. He says there's virtually no noise from the bike. He says you just can't hear this bike coming up behind you, so it looks like Mr. Chiappa will have to have his wits about him if David Loudon gets up to his back wheel. So it's still number 2 Paul Chiappa who leads David Loudon. Mark Kenny has now moved up into 3rd position on the 4-stroke Honda, with Graham Smith in 4th. But the racing here at North Carnduff Farm has been absolutely fantastic, and it seems that many of these riders enjoyed the layout of the track, and they certainly seem to be enjoying themselves as we take a look at our race leader, number 2 Paul Chiappa, who leads David Loudon in 2nd position. 3rd place is Mark Kenny, coming up on the big CNJ 600 4-stroke Honda machine with those twin tailpipe exhausts at the rear. But we will take a closer look at this lovely machine in a later video here on my classic Dirt Bike TV channel. So it's still at number 121 Mark Kenny in 3rd position there on the big Honda, just behind David Loudon and race leader Paul Chiappa. Number 17 is Mike van der Meer, just going through. Number 88 is Billy Pentland. Number 18 is Jim Colligan. Number 47 is Steve Moore. Number 43 there is Andy Malik on his quite nice looking little Montesa 250. But here's the battle for 1st and 2nd positions between Paul Chiappa and David Loudon in 2nd position as these guys start their last and final lap of this race. But this has been a good afternoon by the Dunfermline Motorcycles owner, number 2 here, Paul Chiappa, and he's won just about every race he's taken part of this afternoon. So this is a good scrap between these 3 riders as they head towards the checkered flag. So with just about half a lap to go, it's still number 2 Paul Chiappa who leads David Loudon, number 75, but Mark Kenny looks like he's got a bit of a second wind here, and he looks like he's going to try and challenge David Loudon for that second place position, but as they come towards the checkered flag, it's going to be another win for number 2 Paul Chiappa. Second is going to be David Loudon, and it looks like Mark Kenny is going to have to settle for third. So that brings us to the last race for the over 50s and under and over 40s class. Once again, another good collection of bikes in this race between these little 125 two strokes and the bigger single cylinder 4-stroke bikes, but as they come towards us, it looks like it's number 9 Lewis Bell, your race leader once again. Second is Mike McClarty on that little CR125 Honda. Willie Penrice is third, and as you can see, the dust beginning to fly here at North Carnduff Farm, but there just seems to be no stopping this guy on this Alan Clues CCM bike. It's been another fantastic afternoon by Lewis Bell. Second is still Mike McClarty, third is Willie Penrice. Number 125 going through there is Ian Stainton on that lovely Clues Stroker machine. Now, we quite often don't get conditions and weather like this to race in here in Scotland, but we're certainly been blessed with the weather and the layout of this track for this round 1 event here at North Carnduff Farm. But it's Lewis Bell as he comes round to complete another racing lap on the CCM bike. Second looks like it's still Mike McClarty in second position. But a beautiful bit of landscape here in Strathaven. So we're looking at the battle for second and third positions between number 416 Mike McClarty on the CR125 Honda and number treble 9, that's Willie Penrice on a quite similar machine, but these little 125s have been quite good entertainment at this round 1 event, so hopefully we'll see more from these pre-1989 125s in the coming months. But here's your race leader, number 9 Lewis Bell, as he comes round to complete his third lap. Very quick rider and a very nice machine, this big 500 CCM bike. As we take a look at number 17, that's Mike van der Meer on his CR125 Honda machine. But there just appears to be no stopping this guy today. This is Lewis Bell, and Lewis has had a complete sweep of wins here at this round 1 event, and it looks like he's crossing the line to take yet another race win. So that's a win for Lewis Bell. Second is Mike McClarty, and we're looking at Craig Smith and Liston Bell as they both cross the finish line. And so that brings us to the penultimate race of the day, the over 60s and 65s class. Now, these guys may be some of the older riders in the club, but nevertheless are still quite quick for being over 60s. And we do have many club members who are even over 65, so it looks like it's number 24 Sam Sibbald, your race leader. Derek McCauley is second. It looks like Archie Baird is third, and number 41 there is Peter Dobinson on that lovely Rickman Triumph Twin. And again, it's number 24 Sam Sibbald. Sam has been riding superbly here at North Carnduff Farm, and he's off to a very good start in his final race of the day. Derek McCauley is still in second position on that Bultaco. Archie Baird is in third, Peter Dobinson is in fourth, number 13 is Jim Allison, number 89 is Mike Bell, number 14 is Brian Hamilton, and number 118 is Kenny Harper. But it's still Sam Sibbald, your race leader. But this man here, number 29, Derek McCauley, certainly to be a candidate for the Man of the Match award, because Derek has ridden superbly on this little 250 Bultaco and even challenged bigger bikes for track position. So Derek has been fantastic on that little 250 Bultaco machine. But as they come towards us, it's still number 24, Sam Sibbald. Quite nice sounding big 4-stroke machine. Derek McCauley is still in second. Archie Baird is in third. Mike Bell just going through there, number 89. Number 14 is Brian Hamilton. Number 30 is Ronnie Craig. But I do hope you've enjoyed all of the racing action from this Scottish Classic Motorcycle Racing Club Round 1 event here at North Carnduff Farm. And don't forget, our second race event of the year will be at Thornhill in Dumfries on the 4th of July. So look out for all the bikes and the racing action from that event coming soon to my classic Dirt Bike TV channel. So it's still Sam Sibbald, number 24, your race leader. Second should still be Derek McCauley, number 29. Third position is Archie Baird, number 180 on the Norrie Patty 3L CZ machine. Once again, Archie Baird, number 180 in the blue there. He's ridden also very well this weekend, so he's in quite a good position here in third position, just behind Derek McCauley. And so as they cross the line to begin their last and final lap, it's still Sam Sibbald, number 24 on the TT500 Yamaha, your race leader. Derek McCauley on the Mark 7 250 Bultaco is in second position, with Archie Baird in third. So we're looking at our race leader as he finishes his last half lap of this race. It's number 24, Sam Sibbald, coming to the checkered flag to take the win for his last and final time of asking. But this has been another very good performance by Sam Sibbald. So as Sam Sibbald crosses the checkered flag, it looks like it's number 29, Derek McCauley, who's going to take that second. Well, maybe not. It looks like Derek's got some kind of mechanical issue, so it looks like Archie Baird is going to steal that second place position, as Archie has a look back to see what's happened to Derek. But it looks like Derek's got some kind of transmission problem on his Bultaco, which is a bit of a shame, because Derek's been fantastic all weekend. Okay, that brings us to the pre-1984 class, and of course the final race of the day for this round 1 event here at North Carnduff Farm. So as they leave the line, it's Paul Chiappa who's made a fantastic start. Graham Smith's made a good start there on the RM400 Suzuki, but as they go into the bottom section of the track, it looks like it's Paul Chiappa, your race leader, with Mark Kenny in second position on the big 4-stroke Honda. As they come towards us, it looks like David Loudon is in third, John Stokes is fourth, Graham Smith is fifth. Number 17 just going through there again is Mike van der Meer. So as they come to the line to complete lap 1, it's still the veteran racer Paul Chiappa, number 2 your race leader. Second is Mark Kenny, third is David Loudon, fourth is John Stokes on the big 490 Michael. But this had been another good showing by number 75 David Loudon on the YZ490 Yamaha. But you have to take your hat off to this number 2 rider, Paul Chiappa, who is 62 years old now, and he's still as quick as he ever was on these Michaels. John Stokes just going through there in third, Mark Kenny on that lovely big Honda in fourth. So it's still Paul Chiappa who has a slight advantage over number 75 David Loudon. And of course Paul knows how to set these big Micos up. He's regarded as a mechanical genius when it comes to these 490 German Micos. He certainly knows his suspension, and he knows the intricate workings of those German 490 engines, so there's not much Paul can't do with these old 1980s German Micos. But it's Paul Chiappa, number 2, your race leader. Second is still David Loudon. Third should be John Stokes. Mark Kenny there is still in 4th position, but it's still been a good afternoon for Mark, even though he's in 4th place at this point. But Paul Chiappa still coming round to complete another lap in 1st position. David Loudon still quite close behind, so this race is maybe not finished, even although it is the final race of the day, so there could still be some fireworks between these two riders as they come to the closing stages. But if this is the kind of racing and these are the kind of bikes that you like to see here on YouTube, then please consider subscribing to my channel to see much more of this kind of racing, and of course an in-depth look at many of these old bikes from the past. So we're looking at our race leader as he comes round to begin his last and final lap. It's Paul Chiappa, number 2, who leads at number 75 David Loudon, as we take a look at 3rd place rider number 121. That's Mark Kenny on the 4-stroke C&J 600 Honda machine. But this has been a fantastic afternoon of racing here at North Carnduff Farm. I do hope you've enjoyed everything that you've seen in both of the videos from the racing. As we stick with Mark Kenny, number 121 on the C&J 600 Honda. But as our race leader heads towards the checkered flag, it looks like it's going to be another win for number 2 Paul Chiappa. But David Loudon is very close in the closing stages, but it looks like David's got some kind of mechanical issue with his YZ 490 Yamaha, and it looks like David has lost the rear drive chain. So I hope you've enjoyed everything that you've seen here at this round 1 event here at North Carnduff Farm, and once again thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to my classic dirt bike TV channel.